Oh yeah, it's double organic.
Hello, hello. Gonna make a quick video on how to deal with fruity flies. All those fruity flies that fruitarians always have to deal with. They're like our extended family. And there's basically two ways that we can deal with them, or two stages of how we deal with them. First is the more preemptive stage where we keep on top of things. This is the ongoing stuff that we need to do. And then there's the sort of defense stage where we accidentally breed a huge cloud of fruit flies, and then suddenly our whole kitchen or wherever is just absolutely full of them. So first, for the preemptive stuff, what we want to do is always keep things clean. We want our counters to be always kept clean, because if there's just a little drop of some fruit juice or something like that that was from the cutting board or whatever, and that doesn't get cleaned up, then fruit flies are able to feed off of that. And the big thing that you want to look out for and keep clean is the fruit that you're buying. So if you buy a big case of something, or a bushel of could be tomatoes or peaches or something, and at the bottom there's bound to be one that's bruised and it's rotting or molding, and that is what the fruit flies like. Fruit flies like rotten stuff. They like the alcohol and acetic acid that forms, and so you need to keep all of your fruit from bruising and getting rotten. And when it does go rotten, if there's a bruise and it starts going bad, you want to get rid of it ASAP. Otherwise, you are going to have a colony of fruit flies on your hand. So that's basically the first stage. Keep things clean. Keep the counters always clean. Don't leave food out. Regularly take the compost out. If you don't have a composting container because you don't have access to be able to compost, your garbage should be rotated regularly so that you don't have rotting fruit juices and fruit at the bottom of your garbage, and then fruit flies get in there, they lay their eggs, and takes about 7 days, and then the eggs are laid, or at least 7 days until the fruit flies are mature. It only takes 12 hours for the egg to actually hatch and get the larvae, and then they go through a couple stages, and then boom, you got fruit flies just like that. So that's the first stage. Keep things clean. Basically, it's all you have to do to prevent the fruit flies from breeding. You need to eliminate rotten fruit and things like that, because that is what they lay their eggs on. So take away their breeding grounds, so to speak, and you're not going to have too many fruit flies in that respect. But here's the second sort of stage. It's your defense to sort of control a huge problem. If you one day find that your apartment or house or whatever is just a cloud of fruit flies, and you have so many fruit flies, what you have to do is similar to the first stage, your preemptive sort of stuff. You got to clean everything. Scrub the counters down, clean it all, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trapping all these fruity flies, and if you have a trap set for them, they're not going to go to that trap if they can just land on the counter and eat. You have to take away all their food, everything they're going to be nibbling on, any fruit that is exposed and broken open. Got to get rid of all that stuff so that the fruit flies have to go to your trap. So first, clean. Second, trap. So here's a couple different ways you can trap them. You need to get your bait, which would be some more rotten type of fruit, because that's what they really like. Although they will go after, a fresh piece of banana or whatever. And if you put that in a glass, you can then take some paper and make a funnel out of that paper, and then put that onto the glass. And when you have a little hole, the fruit fly, they can get in the hole, but once they're in there, they can't figure out how to get back out. And so I'll show you how to do something like that. And then what you can also do is make anything really. I'll show you how my compost container is the trap that I typically use, because they can manage to get into my compost container. It's not totally sealed, but they can't get out. So if I see fruit flies in there, I just take it out and release them. So you basically want to create some sort of trap that they can get in, but it's not easy for them to get out. So all we have here is a glass, and what you would put in here is your bait, some fruit, something like that. And all we have is a scrap piece of paper, little hole in the bottom, and a little piece of tape. Put it in there. You can tape the funnel onto the glass if there's any gaps, and that's all there is to it. And the next day the glass is going to be full of flies. Then you just let them go. So this is my compost container, and the fruit flies can get in mostly because it's got some cracks here, so they can just barely get in. But once they're in there, they have no interest in getting out. And that is another good way to trap fruit flies. So basically with fruit flies, what you want to do is keep it clean and prevent a big amount of fruit flies being bred in your house. But if it does happen, there's lots of different ways you can trap them. You can look up fruit fly traps online, and my biggest piece of advice when trapping them is to clean everything else, because they're gonna go to the easiest form of food. So if you've got some sticky stuff on the counter or on the floor or something, they're gonna go for that. They're not going to want to go into some trap unless it's sort of the last resort. Alright, hope that helps. Those darn fruity flies.